Hey everybody, I'm with you. Can you hear me okay? Looks like everything's okay on my end. I think our class is starting right now. I'm with you. Can you hear me okay? If you guys can hear me okay, put it in the chat next to the video. Let me know you guys can see me and hear me okay. And we'll wait about 2 or 3 minutes and we'll just chat it up here a little bit. And then we'll start our class in about 3 minutes. I like starting about 3 to 5 minutes after the time we said so that everybody has a chance to log in, get the bugs worked out, and join us. Nice. We got some of my YouTube regulars that I see commenting a lot, like the Warrior Bat and Michael Harrison. And I see you guys always in the comments. Thanks so much for watching and playing a role with the social media aspect of our YouTube channel. I really appreciate you guys being in there and commenting and liking and watching and sharing and all that stuff. Does anybody do Jeet Kune Do here? Taekwondo, somebody else. What I'm doing is for this class today, I'm greeting you guys on the ground because we should all get on the ground right now and we should wait the 2 minutes or so for everybody else to log in a stretch position because we're going to be doing drunken style today and we've got to get a little bit limber. And normally I always say only stretch, or not only, but stretch your main stretches when you're already sweating and warmed up, but it is important to stretch a little bit as a warm-up. So we're gonna do some basic stretching on the ground together as we wait for everybody to come in. We'll wait about 2 more minutes. And the reason for this class was we had a group from India that asked for a live Kung Fu class. And so we did one a couple of weeks ago. And what happened was they have a lot of flooding going on in India. So this particular school that's watching us from India got flooded out and wasn't able to join us because of all the rains and intense weather. So now if you guys look in the chat, you'll see the Sri Lata Vedula. Hopefully I'm saying that right, the Sri Lata Vedula. And it's that account says, this is Hemaji from India. Students are ready to join you. So that's great to have you guys from India here. I can't wait to show you guys some Kung Fu in the Tiger and Drunken categories. And I'm actually curious, the group who's watching us from India, about how many people are there with you watching? And while I'm talking to you guys, I'm in a split, half split. If you guys want to get down here and do some split action, we got to get it. Put the computer up a little higher so you guys can see it. There we go. I love doing all nature of things on the ground, like watching television, eating my lunch, eating my dinner, because I feel that when I'm watching my favorite show on television or when I'm eating some food in my stretch, I'm just telling my body, I'm reinforcing my body and telling myself, you know, it's okay to be limber and be flexible. So get on down right now with me if you guys can. Be safe, don't overdo it, and let's get some stretching going as we kind of talk it out and warm up here together. So I'm gonna go to the left here, and I always drop my elbow down to my shin right there on the side. Keep my chest out. And really, I'll go over any kind of Kung Fu you guys want in these live sessions. You guys got me for an hour or about an hour and a half. We always tend to go over. So I'll say an hour, but it will probably go 90 minutes. And you guys got me the whole time. I put aside this time for you guys, wherever you are in the world. So if you guys have any requests or any questions you want to ask, we're going to try to focus on a few of the techniques, a few of the workout techniques, a few of the fighting techniques, a few of the form combinations, and a few of the basic fundamentals of Drunken style Kung Fu and Tiger style Kung Fu. But I don't have a regular class right now. It's just me with the camera. So normally when I teach a group of between 1 to 500 people, it's fun for me to work off the class. I like the interaction with the people in person, and we tend to kind of energize each other during the class. So normally when I have a big group, I can have everybody go with partners, go in groups, and try some of the fighting techniques together. Everybody can kind of work it out and practice hitting each other and sweeping each other and blocking each other and taking each other down, all this stuff. So I'm gonna have to just do the best I can with this live webinar, and we'll have to focus mostly on some workouts, some fundamentals, some fitness type stuff, some form combinations, and like some shadow boxing of Drunken and Tiger style. So I'm gonna put my legs together and I'm gonna get my stretch going on to the front. So feet out in front here, we're gonna grab over top of the feet and stretch it out forward. Hold that stretch. And of course, everybody watching, I don't know your current fitness level, so don't overdo it. Be safe. Listen to yourself and do these videos at your own risk. But if you can do it, I want you to do it. Very nice. Let's put one leg back. So let's have our left leg go back this way and make an L shape in our legs. And this left leg is behind me, just like that. So I'm making an L shape right here. And let's try to put our palms to the ground in front right there, just right in front of us. Hold that stretch, and then you'll be amazed at how many people, probably 80 to 90% of the human beings who are in my class, this is all they can do, and some of them can barely do this. So the next stage to go to the forearms is beyond most people, but just do the best you can. We'll try to get those joints warmed up. I think that our group from India who's watching, it's so cool that you guys are watching from India. I think that's so amazing. But I think it's about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning over there. So definitely a little bit of stretch is needed because it's first thing in the morning. For me, it's 7:39 p.m. Phoenix, Arizona time. Let's go toward the straight leg, hook the toe. So I have 2 fingers hooking the toe, and bring the elbow down to the leg. And then this hand go over the top and stretch it over the top. Hold that stretch. I'm always counting to about 10 in my brain with a deep breath. And then bring it back over. And let's switch the legs, change it up. This leg going straight, this leg going behind us. A couple of years ago, I had a class and we were focusing like this on the stretching and on the fitness aspect of some Kung Fu style that we were training for that day. And I felt like we were doing a little bit too much workout and not enough of the fighting and of the form training. And so I told my class, it was all my black belts. There was like 50 people there, all black belt. And I said, I'm sorry that we're focusing mostly on the workout, fitness, and the training aspect of this style. And they all told me to stop. They go, no, right there, stop. The fitness and the workout and the training is still Kung Fu. And I said, oh, my students are very smart. So I like that they were really energized to do the workout stuff, because if you just train to the fighting techniques all the time with no fitness, no flexibility, you're gonna get injured, you're gonna get a little chubby, you're gonna get out of shape. You gotta balance all the areas of Kung Fu: fitness, meditation, Tai Chi, form training, combination training, drills with partners, hitting to the bag, hitting to the air. Learning the traditions and the history of your style is very important. The culture of your country of origin for your style of martial arts is important. And then, of course, the fighting is the last and probably least important part of the martial arts, although it's the only part of the martial arts that can protect the health and fitness and internal cultivation that you're training for. So what's the difference between a Kung Fu master and a yogi? There's not much that the yogi can do when somebody comes into the yoga school and tries to push them off their pillow or off their mat. You can reach enlightenment with yoga, you can reach enlightenment with Kung Fu, but the good thing about Kung Fu is that we can defend ourselves from that person trying to push us off that mat. All right, let's go to the front, hands down this way in front. Let's go forearms down, hold that stretch, and then see if you guys can go all the way chest to the ground. Get all the way down there, yeah. Flexibility, all right. Bring the feet back in front. We're gonna go, follow me here. We're gonna keep the right leg bent. So bend your right leg, bring it on top right here. And then we're gonna go turning our torso to the right. So right leg is bent, and we're gonna turn to the right. Elbow right there. And this is like a beginner way to do it. Just straighten your posture, head up, sitting tall and proud and strong, and then turn the neck as far as you can around. Yes. Deep breath in the nose, out the mouth. Slowly come out of it and switch it. This leg straight, left leg bent. Same thing, we're gonna take the left leg is bent, and so I'm going to turn to the left. Yes. So that opposite elbow and opposite knee are touching together. Then sit tall, drop your shoulders, and turn as far as you can with a deep breath in the nose, out the mouth. I've been to a lot of different martial arts schools over the years, and I've seen and met a lot of different martial artists. And martial artists love to get together in groups and talk it out. So I figure if you're gonna get together in your clique or in your group within your martial arts school, make sure that you guys aren't just standing around wasting time. Make sure at least if you're gabbing and talking for longer than a minute, you're at least in a stretch while you're doing it, so you can at least become a group that is passionate about the martial arts, talks together, but at the same time, you guys are getting flexible as well. So sit tall right here, and we're going to put the hands straight up into the air right here. I'll move this back a little bit so you guys can see this one. Straight up as high as you guys can. And we're gonna just get some flexibility and sit. How far back can you get your hands? How far back? Stay seated, lean it back, head up. How far back there? Keep going, hold it. Reach back like you're grabbing somebody behind you. Deep breath. I make these faces and grunting noises to make you guys feel more emotionally content. If I pretend that I'm having a hard time, it tends to make the class feel a little more comfortable. All right, very nice. Let's go right from here. And yes, my hair is shorter. I did a little bit of a different kind of haircut. I'll be back to the blonde hair, normal haircut in the summertime when it grows back. We're gonna go shoulders forward. Let's roll out those shoulders. Work it here. Good. While we're doing these kind of joint warm-ups, we're gonna do our deep breathing as well. So in the nose, out the mouth. Go back, backward circles. In the nose, out the mouth. Keep it going, backwards, in the nose, out the mouth. Now we're gonna go neck to the side. Circles, circles. Don't overdo it, stay within yourself. Other direction, circles. Deep breath. Very nice. We're gonna start up. I'm gonna go to the chat for a second and just see who all is in here and see what questions we have here. I'm gonna answer them verbally, and then at the end of our class, I'll go in and answer them by typing. So let's go back to the beginning here, and it looks like people are putting their different times here. 7:40, it's AM, that's cool. Yogi is a bear in Jellystone, that's true. Yogi Bear. The Blue Farmer is in here. Aloha, aloha, Blue Farmer. I wish I was in Hawaii right now saying aloha for real. Craig Huber, or Craig Huber, I'm not sure, says, hey Jake, have you ever trained Kung Fu in China? Yes, I've been to China about a half a dozen times. I try to go back every about 2 years, and I lived there for a semester in college while I studied Mandarin. Every time I'm there, I try to visit Kung Fu-oriented places. Like I trained Kung Fu at the university in Beijing, the Shoudu Shifan Dashui. The Shifan Dashui is the capital normal university. I also trained Tai Chi there. I've been to the Shaolin Temple a couple times. I've been to the Purple Cloud Pavilion at Wudong Mountain where Tai Chi was created. And I got a chance to practice some Tai Chi there. I've also been to Hua Mountain a few times, and that's one of my favorite places in China because China's such a populated place. It's overrun with people. You really forget if you're in a place like Phoenix, Arizona. In Phoenix, Arizona, we're the 5th largest city in the United States, but the city is very big in terms of land, and so it's spread out. So you kind of forget how many people live in the city. But if you go to China, it's so population dense. There's people everywhere that it really is a wake-up call to how we are completely overpopulated as a species. And so I love going to places like Wudong and Hua Mountain because it gives you a chance to kind of get away from the people, go into nature, and see some of the beautiful natural areas of China. Let's see here, some other questions before we get started with our tiger training. We'll start that in about 90 seconds. Let's see here. Zen Monkey said, great webinar, but I need to wake up early tomorrow. All right, have a good night. Take care, get some sleep. 9:43 in New York, that's cool. We're only 2 hours apart between New York and Phoenix right now. That's pretty good. Let's see, keep going down the, I appreciate this guy giving free lessons. Thank you, I appreciate you guys watching, because if you guys weren't out there watching, I wouldn't be doing it. So I'm only doing these free lessons live because there's such a demand for them, and you guys love to watch them. That's cool, it's 10:46 p.m. Somebody's in Nova Scotia. I've always wanted to go to Nova Scotia. I was born in British Columbia, kind of on the border between Alberta and British Columbia, and I've always wanted to go to Nova Scotia, but never been before. Maybe I'll go someday. What other forms of martial arts am I interested in? You know, I started out as a kid for, you know, a year or two, whenever, you know, everyone does kid martial arts in karate. And then in middle school, high school, and college, I was really into wrestling. And it was during my wrestling time that I also started Kung Fu as a teenager. And my teachers wouldn't let me test a black belt in Kung Fu unless I also had proficient Tai Chi training. So I did Tai Chi as a teenager as well, kind of just to get the black belt in Kung Fu. And now, as a 34-year-old, Tai Chi is one of my favorite things to practice. I'm so glad that my teachers forced me to do Tai Chi, because it's one of my favorite things in my memory bank and physical bank of skills that I've gotten. Whenever I'm at a waterfall or the ocean or the forest or a river or in nature, I love that I know Tai Chi, because the Qigong and the Tai Chi that I've learned and I teach is so fun to do when you're in the wilderness or by those epic sites of ocean and waterfall and river and stuff like that. You get all those negative ions. Somebody's asking me, Jake, have you ever seen anyone do Budokai Tenkaichi? I've never heard of that before. I've never heard of Budokai Tenkaichi. So you'll have to enlighten me and send me a YouTube video. Go to jakemace.com and go to the email Jake button and email me a couple of YouTube links about that stuff. You want me to see it? And while we're here, please go and follow me on Instagram at Jake Mace Tai Chi. And if you haven't checked out jakemace.com, go there and check out my online school. It's just $5, and that's a great way you guys can get more videos and more training that only cost $5 a month, and there's like almost 600 videos there now. Do I know the Sun style Tai Chi? Yes, I've practiced the Sun style. I'll be teaching that later on, but the 3 main styles that I teach in Tai Chi are the 24 style, the Yang style, and the Chen style. Oh, so I guess that Budokai Tenkaichi is a Dragon Ball Z game. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't play much of those games. I do know Dragon Ball Z, and all my martial art friends are super into it, so I know a lot about it just because I'm around the martial arts, but I have not played any of the Dragon Ball Z games. I'm sorry, I've been too busy training real Kung Fu to have any time for video games. So maybe someday we'll get together and we should do a live class watching me play Dragon Ball Z video games. That'd be kind of cool. All right, let's get to some of the tiger training, and we'll answer more questions in a second. So while we're seated here on the ground, I'm gonna scoot back. Some things we can do even without moving to start our tiger training, okay? Tiger uses open hand methods of striking. So I just watched a great YouTube video with Boss Rutan. And I don't know what it is about Boss Rutan, but I have always liked Boss Rutan. When I first learned who Boss Rutan was when he did that video as a bouncer. It was like a bouncer self-defense video, and he had all the dangity dangity dangity. Go look for it on YouTube. It's a great video. It's hilarious, and it shows Boss Rutan doing real skills but having fun with it at the same time. And he has a YouTube channel, and he just talked about the importance of a real fighter knowing how to use open palms, not the knuckles, but having open palms and blocking with the hands like this and not always staying here. He says this is good, but he's always been a fighter who has favored this kind of blocking, and he has reasons for it. So I love that, and it's right up my alley because Tiger style Kung Fu has a similar mindset as what Boss Rutan has. So we have to train these hands to be big, to be strong, to be powerful, and to have different positions that are geared toward doing maximum damage to our opponent, okay? So if you open the hand like this, this can be used as a striking weapon, as a palm strike. hitting in. And we condition those palms with iron bone or iron palm training. If you guys go on YouTube and do a search for Jake Mace iron palm, and you'll find some great videos of how to do iron palm. You can also get my iron palm or iron bone DVD that shows all my techniques for iron bone. And it's a great way to train safely iron bone training at home. And iron bone is one of those ways you can really make the skeletal system of your body stronger, all the bones in the hand. But when we have the hand like this, it's kind of normal and regular. When we pull the hand back like this, the goal is to flex that wrist back so that it flexes all the muscles, ligaments, tendons, bones, whatever we can focus on flexing in the hand. I know you can't flex bones, just go with me on it. And pull that finger down, and we tighten up that hand because we're trying to create as hard of a surface as possible for striking somebody. And normally we try to hit them with the butt of the palm right here, that hit, or even the hard part, the bottom of the wrist, if we happen to catch them here. So this is a good striking tool, this is a good striking tool, and even capping the full palm to the ears are very good. So without even moving our body, we can talk about the theory of striking somebody the tiger way, okay, with the open palms. This hollow of the palm, good for ear hits. The butt of the palm is good for temple or good for nose hits. And the bottom of the wrist is good for swinging those hands around. So like a cat that puts its hands underneath the bathroom door and tries to grab you while you're going to the bathroom, you know what I'm talking about? They put their hands under the door. That's the motion that we have as humans trying to mimic the tiger for fighting. And so if we hit him with the butt of the palm or the bottom of the wrist, that's our goal. Now, to further on that, we want to pull the fingertips in and make them this way, like claws. And so my wrists are back. This is incorrect. This is wrong. Even this is kind of wrong. Not really wrong, but it's different. What I want you guys to do is this. Lock them back this way and have them forward. So we have our hands out and we're flexing those arm muscles tremendously and pulling our wrists back. Okay, so check it out. Right here, we're sitting on the ground. I'm still in that split position. And we're pulling those wrists back and we're pulling these fingers as hard as we can back. You guys have to try this. If I'm doing it, you guys better do it. Now, open the fingers up. Tiger claw. Open them up. Tiger claw. Open, claw. Open, claw. Keep going. Let's go for it. Wrist pulls back the whole time. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、1、2、3、4、5、7、8、9、10. Is that 30? 1、2、3、4、5、7、8、9、40. 1、2、3、4、5. Open it. 10 more. Good. Very nice. Relax the arms for a second. Shake it out. Shake it out. Next, we have our hands open to the sides. We want to close them tight, open them big. So close, open, close, open. Let's burn out those arms. Go for it. 10. 20, just 30 more. We've done this before in other classes, so I don't want to beat this too much. I want to just kind of give you a little bit of warm-up tiger style, and we'll move on to other things. 30, keep going. Arms back. 40, keep going. 50, is that 50? And rest. Very nice. So we have the training of claw, open. Claw, open. You do this 1,000 times a day, all right? Then we have the training of fist, open. Fist, open. You do this 1,000 times a day. And you'll be very sore in the forearm and the hand. And the goal is that the next day, if you can't type very well, you did very good, all right? We got to condition those hands to be powerful, powerful tools of the martial arts. Now, if we get up on our feet, bring this my camera a little higher here. We're going to do some things with our body for the tiger, okay? We want to have a good, solid horse stance. Now, this is considered a high horse stance. I have a lot of martial artists out there who talk to me about horse stance, and I have a horse stance, a few horse stance videos on YouTube. If you guys go on YouTube and type in Jake Mace horse stance, you'll find them. And in those videos, there are some YouTube haters and trolls that come in and they want to tell me that doing a 2-minute or a 3-minute or so horse stance is not that difficult. They can do 10, 20, 30 minutes. Bullcrap, okay? You can do 10, 20, 30 minutes if you're in a high horse stance like this. But if you can get the thighs parallel to the ground, low like this, there's no way somebody's doing 20, 30 minutes. And if they are, I want to see that person because they're Superman. When you're doing a horse stance this low to where your thighs are flat and you can put a bowl of rice on each leg, 3 minutes to 5 minutes is tough. It's very difficult. Okay, so for this video, I want to just do a high horse stance because I can't see you guys, and it's not as fun for me to do a low horse stance unless I can see all the pain that my class is going through. Okay, so I can't see you guys, so we're gonna do a high horse stance. Now, we're gonna have our hands out in front and claw like this, and this hand is back. Can you guys see on the angle here? So I have this right hand back, left hand forward, and we're going to switch the hands and strike. Switch the hands and strike. Do it again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're shoving the butt of that palm into our target. So again, E, R, Sam, Se, Wu, Liu, Qi, Ba, Jo, Shi. Now, we need to show more power. Okay, before we do this, stay in your stance. Don't lose that stance. We need to conjure up the feeling of the tiger, okay? And we want to conjure up the feeling of an aggressive tiger, a tiger who's in attack mode. So the tiger who's in attack mode is the king of all animals. They can take down animals bigger than them. They have leaping ability, flexibility, power. They got it all. Endurance, speed, timing. They got everything. So it's very easy to make yourself feel powerful and aggressive and tough, like the tiger. The thing about it is if you only train tiger training, just all you do all the time, you'll be too out of control. You'll be like on steroids. You got to have the crane to make you softer. You got to have Tai Chi to make you a little bit passive and a little bit more yielding, a little bit more meditative, so that we have the peacefulness of the Dalai Lama, but we have the aggressiveness of the tiger. You know what I mean? Okay, so we're gonna conjure up in this next 5 minutes together the tiger spirit of this aggressiveness. So get back into your stance, and we're sunk down right here. One hand is out. So we're hitting pa, 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 pa. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go for it really hard. Get set on my count. E, R, Sam, Se, Wu, Liu, Qi, Ba, Jo, Shi. Good. All right, come up, shake it out for a second. Shake those legs out. Back down again. Hold it again. Only a short rest. Hand out, other hand in. 10 more just like that with power and snap. E, R, Sam, Se, Wu, Liu, Qi, Ba, Jo, Shi. Very nice. Now drop on down on the ground wherever you're at for push-ups. Come on down there. I hope if you're with multiple people, everybody who's watching get down the ground for push-ups. All right, let's run an angle here. So hold that right there. Give me 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. One of the number one questions I get in my classes, or number one statements I get is, Jake, I can't do push-ups. I just did chest yesterday. Jake, I can't do push-ups. I just did triceps yesterday. Jake, I can't do horse stance. I just did legs yesterday. Is that you guys talking? You guys have that person in your class? Everyone's got that person. All right, next. Some other tiger skills here. Back up on our feet. The ability to do the tiger stance, the classic tiger stance called the cat stance. Okay, so if we're standing here, this, back up, this, do it again, here, again, here. When we're in this stance there, this leg is bent, and there's basically no weight on this leg. It's just very lightly tapping the ground. The hands are out in front with tiger claws. And what I'll show my students to do is to front kick, snap kick that way and back. Back to our stance. That's 1. Do it again. Snap kick and back. Again. 3. Join me. Come on, let's do it. 4. Snap it. Turn to the side. 5, back to cat. 6, back to cat. 7, keep going. 8, again. 9, 10, good. Nice and slow right now, just the warm up. Other side in cat stance. Standing tall, cat stance. Standing there, cat stance. Get into it, cat stance. Again, cat. One more time, we're in cat. Now hold that cat stance, hands in front with tiger claws. Give me that front kick. 1, again, 2, again, 3, 4, 5, 5 more, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very nice. You guys, 1,000 kicks a day, all right? 1,000 kicks a day. Kick, kick, kick. When you're done kicking and you're sore, kick some more. Somebody the other day heard me put the quote on Instagram of don't do 10,000 kicks once, but instead do each kick 10,000 times. And one of my engineering students who's into mathematics, he did the math and he said, you know, Jake, that's not very many kicks a day. If you divide 365 days into 10,000, that's very, very doable. It's only, let me get my calculator out. Somebody do the math for me. It was only a few dozen kicks every day. And think of it that way. You don't need to do all 10,000 kicks every day. But if you guys take a day off and do 0 kicks, you're behind the 8 ball. You're behind. Your partner, your competition, they did their kicks. You gotta have that mentality. So at least do 20 kicks a day, at least do 30 kicks a day. And over the course of the year, you'll hit your 10,000 kicks. Okay, so what we're doing so far is a lot of fundamentals. Fundamentals of hand positions, fundamentals of hand strikes, fundamentals of leg strikes. Do not ever think you are too good for your fundamentals. Do you realize that in like the PGA Tour of golf, professional golf, Tiger Woods, do you know how much time Tiger Woods puts into his stance and his grip and his rootedness of his legs and his weight orientation, where it is in his feet, and his takeaway? That's fundamentals. And the best sportsmen in the world, no matter what sport, they know that if the fundamentals are strong, then your ability will be strong. Okay, so don't ever think you're about the fundamentals. If you just always want to train the more advanced parts of your art, you've missed out. The fundamentals are where it's at. And the people that train the fundamentals, they know what real skill is. Okay, let's go on to a few movements of a tiger form that I want to show you guys today. We'll do it together here. So hop up. You got to turn the brain on now. Little mental training. I'll move this up a little bit here. All right. So I want you guys to have yourselves in this stance right here. And then I want you to take your right leg, watch out behind you, step the right leg back and strike the left hand forward. So my left leg is forward and my left hand struck. Then I want you guys to grab onto somebody's wrist, like we're hooking in a circular pattern, hook and grab. Pull that wrist in and take the other hand and pop, hit the arm. Bang, right about where the elbow is. Then what I want you to do is I want you to hold that arm, pull their arm in, and trap out their knee. Let's do this again. Now let's talk about these moves really quick. The other day I was showing one of my intermediate students this combination, and when I grabbed and hit him, he wasn't ready for the arm attack. And I didn't hit him that hard, I thought I was pretty controlled, but he claimed that I really did a number on his elbow. He liked it, he enjoyed the contact, but he was like, oh, my elbow, you really messed it up. And he was fine the next day, but he told me that that's a really effective move. And it's great to get that feedback sometimes, that even when I'm going pretty controlled, you can cause damage with those moves, popping the elbow. Number 2, we all saw Holly Holm beat Ronda Rousey in the last UFC. And Holly Holm used that inside knee kick constantly on Ronda Rousey. This kick right here we just did. This kick where we go inside trap, inside trap, inside trap, inside trap. I call that a trap kick, trapping. We can do it high toward the face. We can do it low toward the shin or the knee, or middle toward the belly. And the thing about it is that most people in the world that want to fight, sorry for the sweat, I'm starting to work with you guys here. If you're not sweating, you're not training. Get some sweat going. Most fighters in the world that fight on the street don't know how to fight, and they think you got to use your hands. They're thinking punches over the top this way, underneath, uppercuts. They're thinking just wild haymakers. Very few people, in the single-digit percentages ever train for fighting for real. And so when you are able to use your legs, you have a leg up on your opponent because the legs are longer than the arms. And so the person that has the legs and the kicks, the person who can kick, like Holly Holm can kick, she's the archer. She can shoot the bow and arrow. The archers and the bow and arrows can be shot from long, long ways away, and they can kill from a distance, just like your kicks, like your legs. So your inside traps, your front kicks, your side kicks, your hook kicks, your round kicks or roundhouse kicks, these are your axe kicks. These are the kicks that you should lead with, or these are the moves you should lead with, because they will enable your face and your neck and your chest and your groin and your stomach to remain safe against your opponent's hands. And then your hands are your second line of defense. You got me? So you got to train the legs a lot in Tiger to make sure that we have that first line of defense before the hands come into play. So again, hop up. Let's get back here. We're going to be in this starting stance. The camera's a bit low. Let me move it up here a little bit. There we go. We're going to be in this starting stance. First move is, watch out behind you, right leg goes back. As the right leg goes back at the same time, left hand goes tiger claw strike. Then grab and circle. We lock onto their wrist. Keep that wrist like a grip of a tiger. Step forward and the other hand goes pop on the elbow. Then from there, we have that arm, pull the arm in, trap kick right inside that way. Put the foot down. Let's do it again. Step back with the right leg, strike with the left. Circle, trap the arm. Step forward, pop to the elbow, pull the arm in, inside trap kick. And that's it. That's the little sequence I want you guys to work on today. Let's do it again. Let's do it 2 more times, and then hopefully when we end this live session today, you guys can still do it on your own. Here we go. Step back with the right leg, strike left, hook grab, pop the elbow, trap with the knee. Again, one more time. Right leg back, strike left, hook grab, hit to the elbow, trap with the leg. That's our sequence. I want you guys to be good at this on both sides. So sometimes do it that side, sometimes on the other side, and get it to where you can do it 100 times in a row and not think about it, and it becomes just second nature. And then when you get a friend or a partner who's interested in the martial arts like you, as long as they're a willing partner, have them punch you and see if you can grab that punch, block it out, like Boss Rutan said, with the arms, this way, blocking, blocking, blocking. Block, hook, and grab. Immediately pop the elbow, but don't really hurt them, okay? And then keep the arm, don't let it go anywhere, and trap them out with the other leg, okay? That's gonna be our goal. Now, the other thing is the very first move of this sequence is the step back and strike. So that step back and strike reminds us to be aggressive. When I was into doing a lot of sparring in the martial arts as well as wrestling, probably my biggest fault for me was that I'm not aggressive enough. I was always very good in terms of fitness, in terms of cardio. I usually could out-condition my opponent. I always seemed to have good technique, but there were people out there who were beasts. They were these like living human animals that just had so much aggressiveness and such a chip on their shoulder. It took me several minutes during the match to actually calm them down, you know? And so I have always been aware that one of my faults is I'm not aggressive enough. Maybe I'm a little too nice. And so Tiger is a great art for me to cultivate that aggressive spirit. And every once in a while, it's okay to hit first. You know what I mean? Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. I've had about half a dozen or so students over the last 15 years have actually had to use their Kung Fu on the street to defend themselves. And normally when they come to me with their story of what they had to do to fight, I'm able to tell them, why couldn't you just have walked away? And usually the answer is, I could have, but I didn't. So always walk away. Walking away is better. But they always seem to hit with just a simple jab punch and end it with one punch. And then they're upset. And they tell me later on, they go, I neutralized the situation. They were coming at me. I had to defend myself. Boom, single jab punch. I ended it. But I was so disappointed that I didn't use more cool moves because I've been training all these fancy moves and I had to settle with the jab punch. And I said, no. All of the fancy moves we train with constantly so that the jab punch is second nature and flows from within us. And so definitely number one rule is to avoid the fight. Don't let it happen in the first place. Walk away, swallow your pride a bit and live to fight another day. Second one, if you have to defend yourself and there's no way out of it, use the simple techniques that work, like simple kicks, simple jab punches. And I'm not a big fan of going on the ground on the street because what if they have friends? What if they have weapons? There's no referee, all that stuff. But it's still important to know your ground techniques just in case. And Tiger's a way to train that aggressiveness from the start so that nobody can be more aggressive than us. The Kung Fu master has to be the hardest of the hard and the softest of the soft. And so we have to train ourselves to be as soft as water dripping from a spring, but as hard as water taking out cities in the form of a tsunami wave. Okay, hard and soft. It's to be both. And Tiger is the opportunity for us to be hard. So one more time to see this aggressiveness. Come on up. We're standing there. Right leg goes back. Left hand strikes hard. From the get-go. Hook and trap. Step forward. Hit to the elbow. Then trap. Hit that trap. Very nice. That's your combination for Tiger. Now, let's transition into Drunken. Okay. Kind of a weird transition. We have to kind of put the Tiger aside for the moment. Let the demons go over there. And we have to bring in some of this drunken playfulness. Now, drunken style Gong Fu is called the Zui Chen. It's usually in English letters. It's spelled Z-U-I. So it's in Mandarin we say Zui, and Zui. It's not really Zui. It's more of a sharper like a Zui, and that means drunk. Okay, so if you are Zui, you're drunk. So the Zui Chen is the drunken fist, and Quan like Tai Chi Quan, like Xing Yi Quan, like the Hu Quan and the Tang Long Quan. These are all mantis, and these are all tiger. This is all Tai Chi, but the Quan literally means fist, but philosophically really means the style or the method. And so when we say the Zui Quan, it's the drunken method. Drunken fist is literally what it says, but the drunken style, just like Ho Chen is the monkey fist, but it's not really monkey fist, it's the monkey style. And so in China, they use the word da for a lot of sports, like you want to da lanqiu, which is you hit basketball, and da is to hit something, or you da tai chi chuan, you hit tai chi chuan. But in this case, the da doesn't mean you hit basketball, it means you're playing basketball, or the da tai chi chuan, it means you're practicing tai chi. So anyways, there's a little Chinese lesson for today. So with the drunken, we have to cultivate more of a laissez-faire, like more of a carefree attitude about life. And those people that really decide to focus and specialize in the drunken style of Chinese Kung Fu, their personality tends to be more just go with the flow and happy, and I don't care what's happening as long as I'm drunk and enjoying life. I don't care who drives me home as long as I get there. So a lot of my friends and family members sometimes they black out from their drunken events in their life, and they don't even care. Like I got home, I woke up, I don't know how I got here, but I did. And drunken Kung Fu is very much the same. We want to cultivate this carefree, lackadaisical, fun, happy-go-lucky life. The reason for this is because the drunken person for fighting uses odd angles of attack. And so when we're doing the drunken style, we want to be working on throwing off our partner's timing. And so I have found if you can get your opponent angry, you usually win, because usually anger stifles power, and anger stifles creativity, and anger stifles technique. So if you can remain serene and peaceful and in control of yourself and ready at the same time, you will have a leg up on your competition if they're angry, because anger is not conducive of success, okay? Anger can be a superficial motivator at first, but in the long run, anger will bite you and it will take away your true potential. So Drunken tries to use techniques that throw the opponent off, okay, off their game, like trash talking on the basketball court, trash talking in sports. Drunken tries to trash talk with its movements, and it brings a broken rhythm to the fight. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there about drunken Kung Fu practitioners versus somebody else. So Drunken versus karate or whatever it is. And what happens is that in China nowadays, the wushu performers who do wushu, who do the performance martial arts, think that they can fight with Drunken, and they can't. They're going up against karate and MMA guys who are trained fighters, and they think that doing these drunken movements will help them against these powerful karate kicks or these submissions of MMA, and it won't. It's not going to help you because you're a performer. But real Drunken, real Gong Fu, the Gong Fu that is older than Wushu, the real Gong Fu that is part of China's legacy that stems back to the 6th century when Damo came to the Shaolin Temple from India in the 500s. That Gong Fu knows that Drunken is an effective style that tries to use broken rhythms and unpredictable cadences and unpredictable combinations so that the tempo of the fight is thrown off and your opponent has a hard time getting a read on you. Just like a baseball pitcher in the Major League Baseball. The baseball pitcher has the fastball at 95 miles an hour, but they also have a changeup at 50 miles an hour. They also have a knuckleball at 40 miles an hour, and they got a nasty splitter at 75 miles an hour. So that's Drunken. The batter at the home plate doesn't know it's coming, and that is what makes an effective pitcher, is the throwing off the rhythm. So to practice Drunken, we need a few conditioning exercises first to get us started. So stand up. First, I want you guys to stand here just like this, and I want you guys to bend back, just like that. Okay, I'm gonna try to face you guys a little bit. Bend it back, and back up again. Do it again. Bend back. Okay, again, bend it. We're gonna work on ab strength and spine flexibility. If you got some pain, don't do it. But if you just have good pain, where it just kind of is good workout kind of pain, go for it. Bend it, hold. Bend it, hold. Bend, hold. Fitness. 4. Drunken fitness. 5. 6. Keep going. 7. 8. 9. 10. Very nice. Now hold the hands like we're holding cups. So like we're holding a cup in our hand, like this. Hold the cup. And I want you guys to move to the right and strike with the wrist bent back, like this. See my wrist? How it's locked? My wrists are locked in a back position like this. We're gonna hit with the wrist to the right. Then hit with the wrist to the left. Hit to the right. Hit to the left. Hit to the right, using those wrists. Left, one on top, one below. Right. Left. Let's go for it. Keep it going. Use your whole body. Swing it. Swing. Use the whole body. The legs push the power into the arms. Keep going. Bang. Again. E. R. Keep going. San. S. Wu. Liu. Chi. Ba. Jo. Sure. Now from there, legs together again, and drink 1, drink 2, drink 3, and back up. Like we're drinking our wine. When we talk about drinking the wine, we mean the wine of life. So the juice of immortality. Drink 1, drink 2, drink 3, back up again. That's 2. Again, 1, 2, 3. That's 3. Again, 1, 2. Drink it. Drink. Keep going. 1, 2. Reach back far. Look behind you. I know there is somebody out there who's super flexible. Show off. Be as flexible as you can be. Go for it. Drink it. Drink. That's 7. 3 more. Drink. drink, drink, that's 8. Again, 1, 2, that's 9. Keep it going. Last one, drink, drink. This time, hold it, hold, 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 back, and back up again. Very nice. There's some conditioning of Drunken. Trying to keep it light and have fun. That's what Kung Fu is all about. If you guys ever take my class and learn Kung Fu with me, either at the online school at jakemace.com or here on YouTube or in person, we try to have a lot of fun and we try to make it a pleasant experience to train martial arts. And I tend to get away with a lot of stuff. I tend to get away with a lot of hitting people and a lot of making them do a lot of conditioning if I smile and make it fun. So if I'm happy, they'll do more what I say than if I'm not happy. All right, let me go to our chat. Let's answer a few questions here. Let's see what we got. Let's see here. I'm gonna go down here and look for some questions for about 5 minutes, then we'll get to some Drunken combinations and we'll expand our Drunken knowledge here, our Drunken style. This person is asking, or this person is saying, crazy Drunken boxer is saying how to say Drunken fist in Cantonese. That's great, because I don't know any Cantonese. I just know like, I know Joseon and I know Ngoy, and I know a little bit of the counting in Cantonese. So my studies have all been in Mandarin. So that's great that you put the Cantonese on there. I don't even know how to say that. But thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. Future Video 10 says, most Kung Fu practitioners don't know how to clinch. And I totally disagree with you. I would say that a lot of different martial artists of a lot of different stuff don't know how to clinch. Even like a lot of boxers don't know how to clinch very well because they're not versed in ground fighting and grappling. They're the best punchers in the world. They know how to cover up and hug for stalling, but they don't know how to actually clinch. So no matter what the style of martial arts is that you study, whether it's Taekwondo, Jeet Kune Do, Aikido, whether it's Hwarang Do, whether it's Kung Fu, whether it's Kempo, whatever it is that you study, MMA, the art doesn't matter. The person does. The person does. And it's very important to get across. So don't make a general statement that Kung Fu doesn't know how to clinch, because there are many players within Kung Fu who do and many who don't. Just like if I go to boxing, there are many people in boxing that might know how to kick because they train on the side, but most of them don't. But it's always the person who's important. You can't make a general statement about the entire art. People say, Jake, is it okay to train like Krav Maga or Ninja or something? I go, yeah, as long as the teacher is good. The teacher is the most important part of the martial art, not the art itself. Let's see here. Jake, what do you do if you get adrenaline kicking in when you want to stay calm? So this is a really a key question. So especially when I train myself at night for some reason, when I train after 9:30, 10 o'clock, if I get into a good kicking workout or a lot of Kung Fu forms, I tend to get like a little bit of like a workout buzz, like a workout high, and I feel like I'm almost lightheaded, and sometimes that happens. So in that case, I try to see if I can use some calm breathing technique like this, sitting still and trying to breathe in for 5 seconds in a row. Breathe out for 5 seconds in a row. And usually about 5 or 10 breaths like that with a 5-second speed calms me down. So you might try to do the slower breathing and deeper breathing to keep you calm, because breathing can change your entire physiology. Let's go up further. I'm trying to look for our, oh, you know, my lovely wife here just dropped in some questions that she liked here from the chat, so I don't have to look, so this is great. So somebody asked, who inspired you to do martial arts? That's a great question. For me, I was always inspired by movies, of course, because I'm a younger person. I'm only in my low 30s, and I was always inspired, of course, by Bruce Lee. When I was really into Bruce Lee movies, I didn't really know who Jackie Chan was in the beginning. I had watched the Kung Fu series with David Carradine. I love that for the philosophy. But I mean, Bruce Lee is such a magnetic figure that he made me want to go and try the martial arts. But in reality, what truly inspired me to do martial arts was that I was really into wrestling. And I really wanted to pay for my college with a wrestling scholarship. And so I decided when I was a teenager, still in high school, to start martial arts. And I ended up choosing a Kung Fu school because I thought it would make me tougher to get punched and kicked in the head, which would make me a tougher and more aggressive wrestler So I would use Kung Fu as a sort of a method of cross training. And it did. It made me a little bit tougher. But I ended up going to college and before I was in college, I ended up breaking my arm. And I didn't really go back to competitive wrestling. I went back to coaching wrestling for a while. But I did go back to train Kung Fu, and I've loved it ever since. So really, Kung Fu was just going to be a tool of aggressiveness for me, but it ended up becoming my main deal. And then the Tai Chi, of course, was forced upon me to get a black belt, but it ended up being one of my favorite loves of Kung Fu, the Tai Chi training as well. This person asked, what are the benefits of Tiger Kung Fu? Power, aggressiveness, endurance, strength, fitness, and some of the best fighting techniques in all of Kung Fu. I think the Tiger people are very hard to beat because of their emphasis on fighting, their emphasis on strength, power, aggressiveness, and they're usually as tough as nails. So I would say people that do Muay Thai are very, very tough, and the Muay Thai of Kung Fu are Tiger specialists. This person says, how does Kung Fu help in studies or in life? I think that's the main purpose of Kung Fu. So only 0.0001% of Kung Fu should be for fighting. We have gotten in our modern day society, what movies have done is they have shown us that the fighting is the main reason to train the martial arts, and that is actually wrong. You know, fighting is the least important reason to train martial arts. The reality of it is that you want to train Kung Fu, you want to train Tai Chi, you want to train Qigong, you want to train the fighting in class, the practice, in order to never have to fight. You want to become a Mr. Miyagi of the martial arts. You want to have bonsai be your hobby. You want to have the ability to fix all the plumbing like Mr. Miyagi could do, the ability to fix cars, the ability to build construction. He was building his own house and decks in the backyard. And he hates fighting. Mr. Miyagi is the example to, I think, train. And then when the fight comes to your doorstep and the person's in your house and you can't escape it, that's when the fangs of the martial artist come out. But in reality, the martial art should be for improving heart health and blood health and fitness, improving flexibility of the body, improving longevity so we can age gracefully, so that as we get into our 60s and 70s and 80s, we have the energy and the libido and the body and the flexibility, and we have the heart and the spirit of somebody half our age or younger. And so we want to be a Jack LaLanne-like character and use Kung Fu to become this beacon of longevity that lives a magnetic life and is an active member of society no matter what age they are. And so I've seen a lot of people around me nowadays in their 30s who are breaking things and throwing things out and gaining weight and getting stiff and unable to work out, like getting nauseous and having pain and taking medications and all this stuff, and they're in their 30s. And so that kind of stuff I think can be cured with Kung Fu and also a good diet. All right, we're gonna try to get some more questions in a second here. I'm gonna answer a question here from Himaji. I hope that I'm pronouncing your name right. Himaji. And you want to know what the difference is between Wushu and Kung Fu. This question I can do for an hour, but I'll give you the quick version. Wushu, that term, Wushu, Wushu, Wu is martial, Shu is arts. So Wushu literally translates to martial arts, but that's not really what it is. Wushu is more of a competition-based sport that turns martial arts into gymnastics, and Wushu tries to capture the spirit of the martial arts. They still use spears, stabs. They do beautiful kicks. They're incredible athletes. But the main focus of Wushu is not for fighting and for realism. The main purpose of Wushu is for the judges and for the audience and for the performance. And so Kung Fu was supposed to be a private discipline you would do, kind of like a religious discipline. You wouldn't advertise. It was something you would do for your own personal salvation, your own personal improvement, your own personal life. And it was a way to strengthen your bones and make your body more flexible and learn about the earth and open the mind, expand your awareness, and also give you fighting and self-defense skills that you wouldn't need to use unless it was called upon. And so Kung Fu is not for the audience. It's not for the judges. Real Kung Fu is for the self. So maybe that's a little bit too long-winded. So Wushu is a competitive sport. Kung Fu is more of a lifestyle. And what I choose to practice is Kung Fu. So here's a few combinations from Drunken. Hop on up. We're gonna work on a few movements here. So Drunken has 8 immortals. There are 8 different deities or gods or enlightened beings that are part of Taoism that make up the Drunken style. And each of these 8 characters has an ancient story that stems back maybe even a millennia in Chinese history. I don't know how long it stems back, but hundreds and hundreds of years back in Chinese history. And the Taoist faith is still very much active today. And each of these characters has different energy, story, and different attributes. So Drunken can vary depending on which of the 8 Drunken immortals we're mimicking. So one of the immortals likes to grab onto stuff in front like this. I want you guys to go into a nice stance and hold something like we're holding a big giant wine barrel in our arms. Right here, holding it. What we want to do is we want to take this wine barrel, circle and elbow, boom, to the left. Circle and elbow, boom, to the right. Circle, left, again, right. Go left, and we're using this part of our body, the trunk. This is the part that we're throwing. So use that circle. Get that wine barrel, elbow them to the left. Use the spine, elbow to the right. Go to the left. Go to the right. Hit. 1, 2. Keep it going. 3. Keep that circle. 4. Keep your barrel. Hold on to it. 5. Again. 6. Snap it. 7. Again. 8. 9. Keep it going. 10. Very nice. Now, we're a little tired and we're a little drunk. So it's time to drink from our wine barrel. So we got the barrel here. We grab the whole keg. We're gonna drink all the beer. Keg stands are for amateurs. We're gonna drink the whole beer this way. Drink it back, drink all the way. Drink, hold it, and come back to our stance. I'll go back to stance. I'm in a horse stance here, a high horse stance. Hold that barrel, drink back, flexibility, and back to the front. That's 2. Again, drink it back, drink, and 3. Again, drink, 4. Again, drink, 5. I'm really feeling the core. 4 more. 1. Now slam the barrel down when we come back. So drink back slow, and then boom, slam it down. 2 more. Drink back, slam it down. Drink back, slam it down. Very nice. Now for the people who are a little bit better than beginners, come on down the ground here. Put this down here. And that wine barrel drill with the wine barrel, I want you guys to practice that 100 times a day, okay? It's like a morning warm-up. For those people who do sit-ups and crunches, who do the ab wheel, wheeling out on the ground, that's good too, but you can do your drunken bends and get the ab strength and the ab training, the 6-pack abs as well. All right, so next, I want you guys to do this. Copy me. Take your back leg. So we're in a left side forward stance. Left leg is forward. Right leg is back. And I want you to take your right leg and swing it around that way back to the front. Okay. Don't hurt yourself and don't break anything. And don't get a rug burn. People tend to get rug burns or floor burns a lot with this one. So here it is again in fast motion. We're gonna go left leg forward, take the right leg and swing it around, and back into position. Okay? This is one of the sweeps that we do in Drunken style. Now here it is in slow motion. We're in the left side forward stance. What happens is that my left hand goes down in front right here. So it's right there. Then my right leg swings around this way and comes in front. And my right hand goes down the outside. Lift the left hand. And then I put my left hand in front over here. I'll get back a step so you guys can see. Then I take my leg and I hop it and bring it back around this way. Then I go over, hop it, over, hop it. Do it again. 1, 2, hop it. 1, 2, hop it. Now get it going. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Get that thing going. E, R, san, se, wu, liu, qi, ba, jiu, sure. Yes. There's some drunken sweeps for you guys. You gotta do these 100 times a day as well. Really important stuff. And so between our barrel drinking and slamming down, between our striking with the wrists, back and forth, these are the things I want you to practice at the beginning for Drunken. I also want you to practice your back bends. How far back can you bend? How far back can you drink? Drink. And then later on, we'll show you guys how to strike with these cups. So the cups are gonna be one of our main tools for striking. The back of that wrist is gonna hit you guys. Strike. Hitting with those hands in front. Back of the wrist. The wrist is hitting. I never let go of my wine. Drink. So rapid strikes like this. Drink. And back in front. Some of the main things about Drunken, and then flexibility as well. Drunken should have a youthful flexibility. So if you guys want to try one more Drunken stretch, it's really important. Come on down and sit like this in between your feet. So I'm sitting down on the ground in between my feet like that. If you guys can't do this, don't try. I don't want you guys to hurt yourselves. So sit right here. Okay, and now from there, I want you to put your hands back. Right here, chest out. And open the chest and lift your butt now off the ground. Arch the whole body up. And hold this arch. 10 seconds, hold it. Lift your belly button and your waistline toward the sky. Stretch those shoulders, hold it. Try your best, deep breath. Now from there, I want you to put the butt back down and lay flat on the ground. So the whole body is flat. And hold that stretch there. Hands can be wherever you want. You can have them in Drunken cups. And then see if without using your hands, if you can come up off the ground with no hands. And there's a little bit of a Drunken stretch for you. And then immediately come back up again. Straighten your legs and stretch the body down toward the toes and hold that stretch right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and head down toward the knees. Hold that. Excellent job, everybody. Very nicely done. Let me come back down here and let's just talk it out for a bit, and hopefully it's enough for you guys to practice on your own a bit. And at least if that wasn't a full workout for you, at least you can add those things into your current workout and try to put a little bit of a Drunken flair or tiger flair on your training. And yes, even if you train karate or taekwondo or MMA or whatever you train out there, you can still train kung fu. It'll enhance your training in your other arts. And so I definitely agree with bringing in different styles into your style, but it's okay to have one love. I love kung fu, and I always will, and I love tai chi, and it's been kind of my life's work since I was a teenager. I've done very little else but martial arts since I was a young guy, and now I'm 34. I'm getting up there, so it's kind of like what I do. I kind of do it without thinking about it now. I've been teaching full-time for almost 15 years. It'll be 15 years like this year. This year is 15 years of me teaching full-time, because before I was owning my own school, I purchased my kung fu school from my teacher at the time, who was a full-time firefighter, and he couldn't balance full-time firefighting and his family and the kung fu school. So he's a very good man. He's morally strong, so he chose his family. Okay, and so he asked me, because I was his head assistant black belt instructor at the time, he asked me if I wanted to take over the school and run it, even though I was still in college. And I said yes, and I probably shouldn't have, but I made it work. The fear got in me. I worked on the side at first while I was teaching the school, and then eventually I did the school as my full-time deal. And then when the economy got really bad and crashed on us, we lost a lot of our students, and we ended up getting more into the online teaching, and we still do both today. We teach people online, we teach people in person. So there we go. And our group from India is asking this question. This is from my wife, Pam. She's giving me little notes of her favorite questions. And they're saying, didn't Kung Fu originate in India? What is the answer? What do you guys think? I'll look in the chat. Did Kung Fu originate in India? What is the answer? Yes or no, or kind of? The answer is yes. I think yes. Kung Fu originated in India. I will say yes. The reason why is because before the Shaolin Temple, this is according to legend and history, and I mean, guys, I'm as blonde and as white as they come. I'm not Chinese. I just love to speak Chinese. I love the Chinese culture. I love the Chinese martial arts. I don't know what the real history is, and nobody does. Nobody was alive back then, okay? So it's all hearsay. It's all, but the most respected form of history about Shaolin Kung Fu and Kung Fu in China is that the Shaolin Temple did not have martial arts at first. It was a temple that was Buddhist, that was established as a regular Buddhist temple. And they were very well known for transcribing Sanskrit Buddhist texts into Chinese. And so in the 6th century, in the 500s AD, a patriarch of Indian Buddhism, he was called the 28th patriarch of Chan or of Zen or of Dhyana Buddhism. His name was Dhammo or Bodhidharma or Daruma, depending on what language you're speaking. But most people call him Bodhidharma or Dhammo in China. He apparently traveled from India to China, and he crossed over the Himalayan mountains, and he went to the emperor and tried to teach the emperor of China, who apparently at the time was also a Buddhist, tried to teach the emperor of China his brand of Buddhism, which was heavy on meditation, breathing technique, mental drills for meditation, and asanas, training like the postures of Hatha Yoga, the training of the yoga postures. He was very much in that, and he had established 49 different yoga postures that he thought were the greatest postures for training the body to be a tool that would get you to enlightenment, that would get your spirit to get to enlightenment. And the emperor didn't like all the hard work, and so the emperor kicked him out of the capital, because the emperor was into kind of buying his way to enlightenment. He may have meditated and prayed a little bit, but he really was into building Buddhist temples and giving money to the monasteries. And so Dhammo was rejected, his teachings were rejected. Plus, apparently Dhammo looked very striking. He had like crazy eyes. He was very enlightened, so his eyes, like his nirvana and his bodhisattvaness shone through his eyes. And he wore a big giant necklace of beads and kind of dressed a little bit risque, so maybe he wasn't as well received by the emperor as he should have been. He ends up going to the Shaolin Temple because it was famous again for transcribing Sanskrit texts of Buddhism into Chinese. And he tried to teach those monks the 49 postures of his yoga training and his brand of meditation and enlightenment called Zen or Chan. And he was also rejected. So the story goes, he meditated in a cave next to the Shaolin Temple for 9 years. And after 9 years, they finally told him to come teach them. They were more receptive, and they began to learn his brand of Buddhism. And so he initially taught them the 49 postures of the I Ching Ching. And the I Ching Ching that we train is supposed to be a very close version of those 49 postures. And even if it's not identical, the postures are fantastic. So if you go on YouTube and type in Jake Mace, I Ching Ching, it's Y-I-J-I-N-J-I-N-G. You can type in Jake Mace, I Ching Ching, and you'll see some of the postures and train them every day. I Ching Ching or I Ching Ching is one of those things you should do every morning when you first wake up. So that's the ultimate Qigong training of the Kung Fu warrior. So the answer is yes. Kung Fu comes from India because of Dhammo. And then Dhammo started the monks learning, and the monks took it to the next level, and it became one of the major universities of martial arts that Asia had for 1,500 years. So pretty cool stuff. So Kung Fu has some great history, and you can visit the Shaolin Temple today in Henan, or it's near the city of Luoyang in the province of Henan. But it's commercialized now. It's kind of sad. It's not, a lot of the monks that train, they don't really, I would want to say that Buddhism is not really their focus. Performing more is their focus. There's wushu schools all around that are like huge martial art performance schools. There's vendors that are selling merchandise and swords and weapons. It's very commercialized now. And the Shaolin Temple brings in $500 million a year, $500 million, like $500 million a year. It's a huge tourist place, but it still is good to go see. If you ever get a chance to go see it, I wouldn't give them a ton of money because they've already got enough. But it is good to go there. And if you know martial arts already, go to the Shaolin Temple and just practice stuff there, because it just will make you feel so good about your martial arts training. And it's just it's like a pilgrimage site for any martial artist, the Shaolin Temple. Okay, that being said, let's finish this class out today with the chat, and then we'll call it a night. One person's asking, what's my opinion of Jeet Kune Do? You know, I've never really trained formally in Jeet Kune Do, but we are going to have some Jeet Kune Do on our YouTube channel. I'm going to try to get with some Jeet Kune Do experts who can actually come out and show us some traditional Jeet Kune Do, and people love it. People love it. So I don't have anything really to say about it. I think that if the teacher of Jeet Kune Do is good and morally connects with you and pushes you and inspires you and you want to be like them, I think go for it. This person is asking, how about some advice about nutrition? Yes, I have some good advice about nutrition. Just for an example, today for dinner, I went to Chipotle, okay? I do eat a lot of my diet out of my yard because I do a lot of gardening. I'm very into gardening. You guys can check out my second YouTube channel called Vegan Athlete. I've been vegan for 15 years as well. So when I was 19 years old, I went vegan vegetarian. And I did this because some of my teachers in the martial arts were also vegan vegetarian. I wanted to, the day that I came back from China one time, I decided to go vegan for a month, and I just kept doing it. So I have not eaten animal products. I've only eaten plants for 15 years. No milk, no dairy, no meat, no fish, no chicken, no steak, nothing. And some of my friends ask me if I cheat. No, I'm very much into protecting the sanctity of life and helping animals. And I don't care what you say. I think that we have every right to live, and so do cows and so do chickens. So I'm very much into not eating my furry and feathery friends, but I do eat a lot of plants and fruits and things like that. So today I went to Chipotle instead of my yard for dinner, but I didn't just eat the Chipotle. My Chipotle was white rice because I wanted the extra stuff in the white rice. You could do white rice or brown rice, but tonight I did white rice. Then I did pinto beans and black beans. And I asked them for a double shot of pinto beans. Then I did the peppers and the onions, the fajita peppers. Then I did the sofritas, which is tofu. And so I put tofu on there. Then I had guacamole on there. Then I had 2 servings of corn on there. Then I had pico de gallo salsa on there. Then I had a hot chili-based salsa on there. Then I had a green tomatillo-based salsa on there. Then I had lettuce on there. Then I took it to go. I come home, I take my huge, like 16-pound Chipotle burrito, and I threw it in a baker's bowl, like a bowl you would do some pancake batter in. And on top of my Chipotle, I sprinkled a bunch of kelp flakes and kelp powder. So I go and buy kelp. A month supply of kelp cost me about $6, and I dried out on my counter, and I blended up in a coffee grinder. So I sprinkled all the kelp on top of my Chipotle burrito. Then I added in 1 field roast vegan sausage, which had 0 soy in it. It was just all lentils and vegetables, and it tastes just like meat, but it has no meat in it. It's a field roast. The company's called Field Roast. It's a great fake meat company, but it's very nutritious, all organic, all natural ingredients, and it's so good. So I put 1 vegan field roast sausage in there. Then I put some nutritionalized yeast. I grabbed some nutritionalized yeast and I spread nutritionalized yeast, and there's a lot of B vitamins in it. Then I put some extra spicy sauce in there, and then I added some of the Bragg brand, B-R-A-G-G, the Bragg family, like Paul Bragg and Patricia Bragg. I added the Bragg liquid aminos into my Chipotle. So I will do a YouTube video coming up of that recipe, I promise. So when I go eat like tonight, a good diet tip is do whatever you can to eat the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. And it's just a fact that greens, dark leafy greens, and vegetables are the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. So I would say always increase, even if you're not gonna go vegan. If you don't wanna be vegan, You do whatever you want to do. But definitely increase your consumption of fruits, increase your consumption of vegetables, increase your consumption of leafy greens, and don't get boring. Spinach, lettuce, tomatoes, apples, bananas. Boring. Okay, it's okay to eat those things. I eat a lot of that, but try to expand your palate. Go find fruits that are new, that you never tried before. You know, do you guys know what a jabuticaba is? Do you know what a soursop is? Do you know what a durian is? Do you know what a jackfruit is? Do you know what a mangosteen is? You know, do you know what lychees are and what longans are? Go get these fruits that are diverse and rare to find and eat them, because your body will thank you later. Go get kale. Go get mizuna greens. Go get arugula. Go get kohlrabi greens. Go get collard greens. Diversify your leafy greens as well, and your body will thank you. So you only get one of these guys, and if you smoke and drink the man-made drinks and eat the man-made foods, and if you do what normal society does, then you will look like normal society. And I don't want to look like that. I want to look like a specimen that my internal blood and my internal organs are healthier, stronger, and as buff as Arnold Schwarzenegger on the inside. But on the outside, I also want to look fit and in shape and have good endurance and longevity and health and be able to kick really high and stuff like that. So I try to eat foods because I think that the diet is very important. So nutrient density, fruits and vegetables, increase that stuff. That's my diet advice there. Let's see here. If I'm not careful, I'll be up with you guys all night. So my computer here has 31% charge left. So let's start to wrap this up here. Let's see here. Yeah. Future Video 10 says that tradition says that Bodhidharma depicted as a blue-eyed barbarian. I've heard that people say that Bodhidharma was Indian, but he had blue eyes. I don't know if that's true or not. That could be just a legend. Let's see. This person says Jake the Snake 124. I love that name, Jake the Snake. Everyone's called me Jake the Snake my whole life. This person asked, Jake, is there some sort of belt testing system on your online school for Kung Fu? Yes. If you guys go to jakemace.com and join my online school, the most expensive membership there is $5 a month. If you want it to be cheaper, you can buy a whole year for $50, which works out to be $4 and something cent, like $4.10 a month. So if you guys are on the 1 year membership on the online school, you're getting a great deal, okay? And if you want to just learn and you want to just follow the workouts and follow the Tai Chi routines, if you want to follow the Kung Fu routines and learn weapons and learn fighting techniques and learn different Tai Chi styles and do Qigong workouts. And I have mini workouts that only go for 5 minutes per workout if you have limited time. I have a ton of stuff in the online school, 555 videos so far and more coming. If you don't want to test, you don't have to. You can just watch and train on your own. But if you want to test belts, we can do that. I'm not going to charge you for it. I'm going to do it for free. I don't need to charge because I'm not hard off for ripping you guys off. I just need to get you guys motivated, and I want you guys to be inspired to train Kung Fu. So if testing through belt ranks inspires you, which it might do, you can do that. So go to the white belt playlist and memorize and train everything in the white belt playlist. Then you must video yourself performing and doing everything in the white belt playlist. Then you must put your video on YouTube, but do it unlisted so that nobody can see it, so it's private. And then send me at the jakemace.com email system, send me the link to your video. I'll watch it, I'll grade it, and I'll either pass you or I'll give you some advice. And if you pass, you go on to the next level. If you want a certificate, we can email you one that will show your advancement and show you the next level for free. If you want a belt in person, an actual physical belt, and an actual certificate mailed to you, we just will charge you the cost for those materials. So all the information is up at the frequently asked questions link at jakemace.com. So go to jakemace.com, go to the FAQ section, frequently asked questions, and it's all in there, all the info. And then go to jakemace.com, hit online school, and join and see if you like it. You can cancel it anytime. You're not locked in. There's a big button up there that says stop membership or whatever. You can do that at any time, but most people don't because they love it. We have a lot of people now, a lot of people that are in our online school from all over the world. So it's so touching to me, and I sometimes have to not think about it. It's so overwhelming that we have people that train with us. Look at this. I mean, my YouTube channel almost has 250,000 followers. You know how crazy that is? About a year ago at this time, I was teaching full-time fitness and martial arts at a software company in Scottsdale to their employees. One of the best companies I've ever been at before, called Exosoft. And we went on a company trip, and I remember saying to the company, I was so proud that our YouTube channel was almost at 50,000 followers, and now it's at 250,000. It's blowing my mind. And there's about 500 new people joining daily. It's insane. So I love that the lessons that I'm teaching and the Kung Fu and the Tai Chi and the Qigong that I love so much, I love that 250,000 of you love it as well. So please do me a favor. Whenever you're on our YouTube videos, hit the like button for me. Add them to your favorites. Share them with your friends. Share them on Reddit. Share them on Facebook. And get the word out there about our channel, because we have a lot more stuff to teach and a lot more cool videos coming up in the future. A lot of good plans with this YouTube channel. So, and if you guys want to interested in vegan food and gardening, go to the Vegan Athlete YouTube channel, and that only has about 11,000 followers on the Vegan Athlete YouTube channel. Let's see. Dave Lee asked, Jake, it would be much appreciated if you can answer my question, and that is, what are your thoughts on jiu-jitsu? What do you think of it? Again, I'll default to my stock answer, which is I think that every martial art is good if the person who is teaching it and practicing it is good. So you might go to 10 different Kung Fu schools, and you might have 10 different experiences. You might have a really crappy experience because the teacher was bad. But you may have an amazing experience because the teacher was amazing. And the same thing with jiu-jitsu. You may have an incredible experience, and you may become an amazing person and an amazing fighter. You might get an amazing physical shape, and you might benefit all of society because you found a great teacher in jiu-jitsu. You might also become a thug and a street tough who actually intimidates people and who's a jerk. So it all depends on the teacher and the person. People are more important than the art. So make sure that you guys look for an honest teacher that you aspire to be like. And if they want to, if they are an example of what you want to be like, then go with them and have fun. Unbox the World ASMR. You're an inspiration, man. Thank you very much. Thanks ASMR for all the commenting on YouTube and all the watching. I really appreciate your comments. Let's see here. Mr. Yosef Men asked, Jake, tell us about your training in early life. Like, how did you start and when? I already touched on that earlier in this video, but I started Kung Fu as a teenager, and I was already into a little bit of karate as a kid, and then big into wrestling. And I really had to fight not to use my wrestling when I first joined my Kung Fu school. I was determined to give Kung Fu a chance. I didn't want to default to wrestling. But when I look at Kung Fu forms, and when I'm doing monkey style, and I'm doing drunken style, and I'm doing Tai Chi, when I'm doing tiger and crane, I have a little bit of karate in my background when I was like 8, 9, 10. And I have a lot of wrestling in my background. So I look at Kung Fu differently than somebody who only has Kung Fu probably does. So I like to include the Kung Fu wrestling in my fighting program. And so I think it's very important to have takedowns, to have ground game, to have joint manipulation, to have kicking, to have punching, to have striking, to have dim mak, to have dien shui, to have pressure point hitting, to have the art of the death touch, to have internal fa jing, and to have meditation and peacefulness, and to have the ability to just stop and not do anything and listen and take a deep breath. There's a really good movie that I love called Waterworld with Kevin Costner. I know you guys might think it's goofy, but I love it. And there's one scene where he's with the girl with the tattoo on her back, and Kevin Costner says to her, can you ever just stop and listen? And she stops and listens. She goes, I don't hear anything. And Kevin Costner goes, it's because you're too loud. I love that scene. So it's important to have all these incredible things happening with you with Kung Fu, the kicks, the punches, the ground game, the grappling, but don't forget to stop be quiet and listen to the earth once in a while, which is why I'm so into hiking. I try to hike a few hundred miles every year. We only did about 200 or 300 miles this year. We do epic hikes for 3-4 days at a time. And we get to see some really beautiful locations on our hikes. And it's my opportunity to go out into the world and to just listen to the earth and listen to the trees. Let's see here, Waterworld rocks. I agree, I love Waterworld. But I saw Waterworld before I saw Mad Max, and I realized that Waterworld is kind of a Mad Max ripoff, only on water. Guys, I'm gonna answer 3 more questions, I'm gonna close this out. Let's see here. If Danny DeVito was a Kung Fu instructor, I would take his class. That's great. Dim Mak, I love Dim Mak. Snake style in the online school, not yet, but it will be there soon. And actually, in the online school, the, oh, hey, Rick Adams, thank you for joining us in the online class. I really appreciate it. Rick's one of my private lesson students there. Let's see here, snake style online school. That brings up a good point. A lot of the belts in the online school are not yet finished. The online school is still relatively new. There's almost 600 videos there. White belt is finished. But as I film more of yellow, blue, green, brown, and black belt, and second black and third black, I will be adding more. So if you're in the online school, the belt levels are not finished yet, you're welcome to go do white belt because it is finished. But we are still filming things for yellow, blue, green, brown. So get a jump start on it, go in there, and start learning yellow, blue, green, brown, black now. But as we film more material, we put the newest videos at jakemace.com in the what's new link. So every day, every week, once a week, go to jakemace.com and click on what's new, and you'll see the newest videos added to the online school, so you'll know where to go and train. You can also join our email list and go to jakemace.com and email me. We'll send you a copy of my monthly training routine that'll show you exactly how and what I train over the course of an entire month throughout every day. We'll send you that for free over email if you email me at jakemace.com. One more question here. Let's see here. Shaolin collect Kung Fu systems mostly from outside, included from Taoists. Yes, there's a lot of Taoism and Buddhism in Shaolin and Kung Fu. Will any advanced styles or forms be added to the online school? Yes, they're coming. I'm just one person, and I only have enough time to do a few videos every day. So we will be adding a lot of advanced forms and training to the online school. Stay tuned. The online school will be a thing that we can grow it together. Right now, there's a ton of stuff on there. It's like there's so many hundreds of videos. So get started, and more stuff will come soon. You guys, there's so much love on this chat. I don't want to be egotistical and read it all, but there's so much love. Everyone's saying thanks for sharing the knowledge. Everyone's using the word inspiration and love and all that stuff. So I really appreciate you guys watching. Literally, I don't think I would have the, I wouldn't have the energy, and I wouldn't have the motivation to film the stuff that I've learned and the lessons that I teach unless you guys were watching. So the fact that you guys watch and that you guys subscribe, that you guys join me on Facebook and Instagram and all these different media, and we're communicating together online, it motivates me to put more up there. So I'm really excited. We're almost at 1,000 videos at our YouTube channel, almost at 600 videos on the online school, and I have about 300 videos at my vegan athlete channel. And you can also join my YouTube vlog. There's a vlog out there you can join, in my Tai Chi for golfers if you want to see how I teach golfers to use Tai Chi in the golf game. So a lot of ways to connect with me. The main way to connect with me right now is by commenting on a YouTube video right after I upload it, because I usually stay live online for about an hour after I upload a new video, and we can talk and I'll answer all your questions. If you notice, I'm pretty active answering everybody's questions in the comments within the first hour after I upload a new video. So if you want your question answered, get in there quick. And yes, Pamela is involved in this chat. Pamela's in there. She's monitoring it. She's the moderator. Himaji says, Jake and Pamela, it was nice joining this wonderful session. Our students learned a lot. I'm so glad. That's our group from India. I'm so glad people from India had a great time, and I would love to visit India someday. It's one of the countries I've never been to and I'd love to go to. So if you guys can give me any advice of where I should go, what I should eat as a vegan, and as a martial artist and as a hiker, where should I hike? Where should I go learn martial arts? Where should I eat when I'm in India? Tell me. I need help. You guys, I love you guys. I'll finish with this. Make sure that every day you guys find time to train Kung Fu. A lot of people ask me, Jake, shouldn't I take a rest day? And yes, that's true, but your rest day should be still doing something. So why can't you guys meditate on a rest day? Why can't you guys do Tai Chi on a rest day? Why can't you guys garden or pursue one of your other interests? Like for me, it's language and hiking and gardening. Why can't you guys go over your forms slowly or do a good stretching routine on your rest day, right? There's always things we can do on a rest day. And you guys can do iron bone training on Monday, and you can do tiger training on Tuesday, and you can do kick training on Wednesday, and you can do partner combat training on Thursday, and you can do the bow staff on Friday, and you can do Tai Chi on Saturday, and you can do meditation on Sunday. There's always something to do every day. But I'm not going to tell you you've got to be a crazy person training your butt up every day. Life's about balance. So make sure that when you are training every day, you find time to stop, listen to the earth, take a break, relax, and smell the roses once in a while. Thanks for joining me here today, guys. I'll see you guys at Instagram at Jake Mace Tai Chi. JakeMace.com is my website. You can Facebook me at facebook.com/JakeMace.TaiChi. My Twitter handle is Kung Fu Universe. This is my YouTube channel, the Shaolin Center. Make sure you guys subscribe and share this video with all your friends. This video will now automatically save to YouTube, so you can watch it again tomorrow if you want to, and you can relive it. Plus, it will be added to the live Kung Fu playlist. If you want to go in that playlist, you can see all of our live sessions we've had in the past. Thanks so much for joining me. I love that you guys watch. I even love if you're a hater. I love you guys too, because you guys are actually, the haters are some of the most active fans on our YouTube channel. So thank you very much. And I will see you guys back here for our next lesson. Take care. One more chat here. Boom. 再见，明天见。